Sure. Well, today's presentation was about the theme of transformation. We talked about transformations in the means of representation, the way architects transmit their ideas, the way they organize themselves, and how the role of the architect is going to change in the future under those influences. Well, WAF is the sort of event that we believe can inform us about what architects are actually thinking about today. Our business is very much about anticipating the future and how architects are going to work. And by seeing the kinds of projects that are presented here and the topics that architects talk about, it gives us a chance to anticipate what our customers are working on and what they'll be thinking about in the future. I would describe WAF to somebody who wasn't here as a sort of big affinity group of architects, a sort of watering hole where everybody gets together and compares their projects, and there's a little bit of gentle competition, or maybe not so gentle competition, which is something that we architects love to do. But mostly I think it's a big information exchange. It's a place where architects can talk about their ideas and compare notes, and especially in this time that's so challenging for architects, where there's an economic downturn and maybe not as much work as there could be. These kinds of events I think are very energizing. They're very helpful. In my talk, we talked a lot about this idea of the change from basic strategies of using tools to make drawings versus using tools to make behaviorally correct representations of buildings. We call those building information models. And building information modeling as an approach is going to change the way architects actually do their work and how they relate to the other players in the process. Those kinds of process transformations, I think, are going to be some of the most important things that architects are going to deal with in the next 10 years. I personally believe that architecture is going to be practiced in a fundamentally different way 10 years from now, and that technology is going to be part of that. But really the role of the architect is going to be expanded, using technology as a platform to take more responsibility for the overall process and really understand more about how buildings go together, how they operate, and how their designs should reflect that. We often say that it's not the technology, but the new ideas are catalyzed by the technology, and building information modeling is very central to that concept. The possibilities of how advanced technology like cloud computing and the internet is going to change the way architects work is actually pretty interesting, because it creates a kind of connective tissue that didn't exist before. You have all this digital information, it's in sort of liquid form. You need to be able to move it around between the players and allow everyone to understand it and gain insight from it. And building and designing, the building process is very computationally intense. Lots of data, lots of processing cycles. We've got modeling technologies, analytical technologies, reality capture technologies. When you begin to combine those with the idea of the cloud, which is a place where all that stuff can happen, you can see radically new ways of working. Now, you don't want to scare architects by talking about that stuff too much, but all the technology, all the processes are sort of moving in that direction, sort of a radical reforming of the way things are going to work. My favorite Einstein quote is definitely, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Because I think that really applies so deeply to the building industry, where we're constantly doing the same things over and over again and are disappointed in what happens. So Einstein's a great source of quotes, I think.